Hey y'all, it's December the 2nd, 2016. I broke my light. That's why it's not good lighting in here right now, but I had to make a video. You see, I've made several videos and I've just not posted them. I've been thinking, well, what's the most important thing that I should bring to the table for my dedicated fans and supporters? And I would have to say it's this: Pizzagate. It's as simple as that. We live in the age of memes. Right? Not only can you get a lot of power, but you can get a lot of money off of creating memes. It's crazy. Alright. But with that in mind, the meme that is already gone viral is hashtag Pizzagate. Alright. Check that out on the internet. Here's the thing, this is why I bring it up. I know that there's a lot of people who do not know what I am talking about when I say the words Pizzagate. And what I'm explaining to y'all out there who do not know yet is a lot of people know exactly what I'm talking about when I say Pizzagate. You understand? It kind of plays into the idea which I've been suggesting, which the Bible went ahead and said that it's going to happen, is a separation. Alright? It's a separation of people who, A, don't know what Pizzagate is, or B, emphatically think that it is a fake, made-up investigation. Alright? And just to go ahead and articulate my point, I want to take you to this. I got a link down there at the bottom. Alright, it goes to bbc.com. First of all, just type in Pizzagate on Google. Number one story will be this exact story, bbc.com, covering it. Pizzagate. Alright, the saga of Pizzagate. The fake story that shows how conspiracy theories spread. Now, this is a separation between two peoples. Alright, because there will be people who read this particular article saying the saga of Pizzagate, the fake story, and how it shows how conspiracies are spread. They're going to read it and they're going to think, oh my gosh, people are spreading fake stories, and Pizzagate is altogether a made-up imagination of thousands of people. Now, I'm going to go a little bit into the article itself because it's very telling right from the jump. But this is what the article says. On bbc.com it says, but thousands of people are convinced that a pedophilia ring, yeah, that's right, a pedophilia ring, is involving people at the highest levels of the Democratic Party is operating out of a Washington pizza restaurant, which is very peculiar. The pizza restaurant is very peculiar from what I understand. Alright, but see, here's where the separation takes place, because you have BBC, one of the world's most renowned news delivering agencies. You had them telling you that thousands of people are convinced. Thousands of people are convinced that a pedophilia ring, yes, a pedophilia ring, including folks like Hillary Clinton, Obama, all sort of people in and out of Washington, D.C., thousands of people are convinced that a pedophilia ring involving people at the highest levels of Democratic Party is operating out of a Washington pizza restaurant. It sounds like science fiction, but what I'm here to tell you, and I'm not the BBC, but it's not thousands, it's hundreds of thousands, probably millions of people. I'm telling you, millions of people are convinced that something is wrong here. If it's not a pedophilia ring, you're definitely hiding something. We found emails. They're your emails. You're the one who set up the surveillance system that, like you did. And now we have some peculiar emails. I mean, they're peculiar to say the least. All right, we've come across a number of straight up and down peculiar emails, and people are investigating them. Now, let me tell you something about press and newspapers and what they should want to do. They should want to bring you the most scintillating story that they can possible, because that'll make you buy their newspaper, or that'll make you subscribe to what it is they're saying, all right, regardless. And they would want to get down to the bottom of things. A legitimate publication would want to get straight down to the nitty-gritty of the most scandalous stories that are around. All right, so hundreds of thousands of people to millions of people are convinced that something very screwy, something very perverse is going down in and around Washington, D.C., orbiting around certain places such as this pizza restaurant of all places. And they have lots of right to think that they might be onto something, being as that your emails are just scandalous. What you're putting on the internet is very questionable. And so people are investigating it. A legitimate publication would acknowledge that people are investigating it, and they would probably go ahead and investigate it. But you have the BBC right here, and what they're telling you is, no, this is fake news. We're not going to look into it because it's fake, and don't look at it. Please don't look at it, is what the BBC is telling you. This is a separation. There is no going back from this. Either you believe that nothing's going on right now and there's nothing to look at, or you believe that, man, you know, from what you've seen, there's a lot of questionable behavior. You don't believe in pedophilia. You don't believe in raping and murdering little babies, and you don't think that that's a necessary evil or something that's something that's acceptable. You don't think that. It's a separation. You understand? You can't read this article without choosing sides. All right, let me just read you a little bit more of the story. Riveted fringes of Twitter. Here's what the BBC said. Nearly 1 million messages were sent last month using the term Pizzagate. Now, they collected this data through Twitter, which is it's a device that's used to collect data. All right, so they collected that 1 million messages were sent, when meanwhile in the very previous paragraph they said thousands of people were convinced. No, you're talking about 1 million. You're talking about more than that, because not everyone's on Twitter. And then, so how did this fake story take hold amongst alt-right Trump supporters and other Hillary Clinton opponents? You see, this is how they box you into a little box by telling you that you're a Hillary Clinton opponent or you're a Trump supporter, and insinuating that you're a bad person, right? And you shouldn't have done that. And now they want to bust out facts, and we're not even going to go into that. Because like I said, a legitimate publication would want to get down to the bottom of stuff. And so if they thought that maybe this was all fake and made up and contrived, what they would do is they would go to the publications who are saying that this is a real legitimate threat and should be investigated. They would go and they would interview those people, and they would say, hey, why don't y'all give us some evidence and deliver us some evidence about what you're saying might be a pedophilia ring where they murder and rape little babies inside and out of Washington, D.C. All right, it is a separation taking place. You had to either accept one or the other. You had to accept the fact that human beings absolutely are capable of this. Alright? And the only way we'll stop them is if we recognize them and take them to task. What I mean is, just get rid of them. Alright, in short. But anyways, like I said, Pizzagate, I think that's the most important thing that I could talk to you about right now. Alright? And it's important that I show it to you, and it's important that you know what side you're on. Alright, and that you know it's a tribulation. We are balls deep up in it. It's December the 2nd, 2016.